I begin to
It's sun come out tomorrow. The waves are so pretty.
Scoot over, I'm getting it.
Intelexx here. Welcome to Lifin with Lex, where we talk about a variety of topics surrounding life because life be lifin', right? Yes, definitely working out to keep the stress level down because life be lifin' and people will try you. Okay. But don't worry because there is one thing that we gotta do, and listen, check the message here. Okay? Start each day with a grateful heart. Yeah?
Everybody get in the picture, get in the, or get in the video. Hey, we out here.
Definitely got to be around the family, but you know, self-care is a must, so you need that isolation because, baby, but most importantly, enjoying life because you only get one, right? And you know, a part of life is building relationships. Definitely got to have that. And definitely got to stay on point with the learning because knowledge is power. Okay? And not only that, applying it. Yes, that's right. Putting that knowledge to work and doing the work for the greater good. You heard me? Make sure to tune in and tap in to this episode to see what we're going to talk about today. Hello and welcome back. We are live. That's right. Welcome back to Lifin with Lex because life be lifin', right? So we are in season 1 and this is episode 6. We made it to episode 6, y'all. First, I just want to say thank you to every single person who was able to support and view and share this out and really show the love. You know, this is just another side of me that I don't normally share. And so I just want to thank y'all for showing the love to your girl. I appreciate each and every single person who believed in me and who supported me right away. And those who just hopping on, welcome. All right. So again, this is season 1 and episode 6. Okay, so this episode, and listen, it's on commitment is a two-way street, creating healthy boundaries. Now, one thing, right? I have so many topics that I want to share with y'all. So many things I want to share with y'all. But to close out this year, because you know what is December is 2023, closing it out, right? I wasn't sure which topic to talk about today. And so I figured we could end off on a good note so we can go into next year with some tools, right? And so commitment is a two-way street, right? When it comes to any kind of relationship, there has to be balance. There has to be something that both people are bringing to the table, or else it's going to fall back on one person doing more and one person benefiting and vice versa. And you never want to be in a relationship where you are the person who is not doing anything or the person who is doing everything, because there's going to be a disconnect and it's unhealthy, right? There's always going to be give and take, but that reciprocal energy is something that we all need in our lives. Okay. And so we're going to get into it today. All right. So I think that when it comes to having healthy boundaries, you have to set that up, right? You teach people how to treat you. Okay. And if you are not teaching them how to treat you, they're going to treat you whatever way they want to treat you. And if you're not correcting that behavior, they're going to continue to do it, right? So I would say the first step in creating healthy boundaries is having those healthy boundaries within yourself first. Creating those boundaries for you. What will you accept? What will you not accept? What are some things that you don't like? What are your deal breakers, right? You have to put yourself into submission first before you decide to put that out on other people. Create healthy boundaries within yourself. Figure out exactly what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want in your life, and act accordingly. Move accordingly, okay? Because at the end of the day, we are all CEOs of our own lives, and we can hire, fire, dismiss, get rid of, hold on to, all of those different things, right? And so when was the last time you actually inventoried your life and got rid of some things that don't serve you anymore, or added on to those things or those people that are bringing benefits in your life in whatever manner? How are you treating other people? Because you can't treat others different from how you treat yourself. You can't treat somebody better than you would treat yourself, because that only lasts for a little bit. That's like having a honeymoon phase in a relationship. Eventually, the true colors are going to show. You can't wear a mask forever. You got to take it off. All right. And once you get back to your normal temperature, that's what people are going to see. But in reality, who you are is how you show up for yourself when no one else is looking, when no one else is around. And so what do you not hold yourself accountable for? What do you not do? All right. What do you let slide? Would you be like, oh, you know what? I didn't do that. It's okay. Or I was supposed to do this, but I didn't. It's okay. No. Take accountability, because you can't hold somebody else to a certain standard and then let yourself slide with everything else and think that it's okay, because it's not. That's being hypocritical. Hold yourself to that standard and then hold everybody else to the same standard. That's how you even the playing field, okay? Now, once you have set those standards and those boundaries within yourself, now you can move on to how you want other people to treat you. So when it comes to creating healthy boundaries, let it be known what those boundaries are. Don't let people guess. People are not mind readers. We don't know what you want. We don't know. And don't think that we know because you didn't say anything. Have proper communication. Having proper communication is a healthy boundary. Right? Knowing how to express yourself. And I know all of us have been brought up in different ways. Some things are easier to express than others. And I get that. And it takes time and it takes skill to express yourself. But get into the habit of doing it by doing it. And so when you learn to really share how you feel, where you're not so focused on how others are going to take that information, you'll be so much better. All right, so I'm going to share with you a little story of one situation that I've had with a friendship where, you know, it was always, oh, can I have this? Oh, you know, just reaching out for the sake of, I need something. It was never, how you doing? You know, you want to hang out? What we gonna do together? It was more so just, oh, you know, I need to get this. I need to borrow this. I need this because this is going on in my life. And in the beginning, I was like, okay, you know, I'm here to help you, you know, because I try to look out for the people that's in my life. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, I can help you. But realizing that opened the door to where that's all the conversations that we had. Whenever we might have hung out, it was like, oh, well, you know, can you help me out with this? It got to the point where I had to let them know this is not the kind of relationship that I'm looking for. If you're not adding value to me, then we need to go our separate ways. And it got to the point where it's just like, when you ask me, no, I don't have it. No, I can't help you. No, because you're not going to use me for your own benefit. And that's the only reason why you come out. This is not a business transaction. This is not a contractual relationship. This is supposed to be something where I build off of you and you build off of me. I can help you when I'm able. You can help me when you're able. And, not just hitting me up because you need something. Reach out to me because you actually want to know how I'm doing. Not because, hey, how you doing? Okay, so can I get some help? Can I get your help? Can I get this? Can I get that? No, that's not a relationship. You just come to me because you think you can get something from me, and that's not okay. And so learning that everybody is not your friend who says they're your friend. Everybody is not on your side who says they're on your side. Learning how to really differentiate between people's motives, because everybody has a motive, whether it's good or bad, and just knowing, just by subtleties, things that they do, things that they say, that they don't say, the interest that they have in what it is that you have going on, the support that they give you. Now, mind you, everyone that you are friends with, that you're connected with, is not going to agree with everything that you do. It might not be their cup of tea. You might have a friend that you are, connected with, that is only into certain movies that you like, or only into certain events. But when it comes to something personal, where it's like, I like going to the opera, I like going to this and that, they might not be into that. That doesn't mean they won't support you, right? But if you're afraid to let them know what you like or what you don't like, don't be mad at them if they don't show up because they didn't know, because you didn't communicate, right? Now, on the other hand, I have a friend where we're both very vocal, we're very verbal, we've been friends for over a decade, and we had to learn each other. So it was to the point where I had to open up myself to share myself with them because I was so closed off. So I had to learn to create boundaries myself. So everything that I'm sharing with you is something that I'm putting into practice daily on my end. So I'm not going to ask y'all to do something I'm not doing myself, right? And so at first it was more so just I want to hear what you got going on. Okay, I'm here for you, girl. Yes, I want to hear everything, right? But it got to the point where she was like, well, what about you? What do you have going on? I feel like I'm the only one putting myself out there, and you're really closed off. And it took me some time to actually open up because of the things that have happened in my past. And, stay tuned for another episode because we'll delve into that. But it took me a little while to open up, and we're really good friends today. Even if we don't talk to each other for like a week, once we pick back up on that conversation, it's like it happened yesterday. All right, so just learning like, okay, this is how I am, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And when it comes to having those healthy boundaries, be interested in the other person's interest, even if you're not interested, right? Show them the same level of respect and courtesy that they're giving you, right? If they can remember some stuff about stuff that you told them, you should be able to do the same thing. Right? So when it comes to commitment, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that you're in a relationship with, in a romantic relationship with, right? Commitment is all across the board. So when it comes to business, how committed are you with your business? How committed are you with your brand? How committed are you with people that you work with the friendships that you have, with the connections that you are building, the networks that you are establishing, right? Don't just leave it on the other person to do all the work. You got to put the work in too. And if you haven't learned this by now, I want you all to remember, life is work. So if you want to get anything out of this life, you have to work for it. All right? Life is not meant to be easy, because if it was easy, it would be set up a whole lot different. All right? And so just remember that, right? Commitment is a two-way street. If you are the one that's doing all the work, more than likely you haven't verbalized what it is that you want from that other person, that other relationship, whether it's business, personal, what have you. If you have, and they're still doing the same thing, they're not respecting your boundaries, and you are allowing them to disrespect your boundaries because you're not doing anything to change it. Sometimes you gotta let some people go. Sometimes you gotta let some things go, right? You know, when there is someone who is willing to put your freedom on the line, someone that's willing to put you in a situation that can get you into some type of trouble. Like if somebody doesn't care about you in that sense, don't let them do that to you, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to have to be responsible for whatever happens to you during that time. And so when you learn to really respect yourself and respect your own boundaries, people will either fall in line, and if they don't, they're going to have to fall out of line. All right, because what we're not going to do is babysit people's feelings. Now, there was a point in my life where I would hold off on what I actually wanted to say because I cared about how people would receive what I was saying, so I wouldn't say it, or at least not the same way that I actually really wanted to say it, because I cared more about how they would feel or their response, when that's not my responsibility, right? I can't control how somebody responds to what I say. I can control how I say it. I can control the tone. I can control the respect level in what I'm saying, but I can't control how somebody receives it. So it got to the point where I said to myself, listen, the truth gonna come out, and how they receive the truth is not my responsibility. So I had to let that go. I had to let that part go where I'm so caring and so, thinking so much about how they're gonna receive what I have. No, that's not my problem. My problem is making sure that you know what you're doing to me or what you're not doing to me, to let that be known so that things can change. And if they don't change, communication excommunicated, okay? Because we're not doing that. And I want to hear from you all. So we all have stories, right? I want to hear the good stories and the bad stories, because we learn from all of that, and we can learn from other people's experiences. We don't have to experience everything. We can learn from somebody else's mistakes. All right, so how did you create healthy boundaries in your life? What are you doing now? What did you do before? What different relationships have you had that was like crazy, to where there are stories that you might not want to tell your children or your children's children later on, because we've all had those situations. We've built this relationship with people and we thought it was great, and then they did something crazy and now it's no more, right? I want to hear all of it, right? So you can do me a favor. You can create your own video. You can write something on your storyline on social media. You could do a reel. However you want to do it, get creative. Hashtag Lifin with Lex, creating healthy boundaries, right? I want to see some videos, some reels, some posts about your stories on how you created healthy boundaries in your life. The things that you had to learn throughout your years, the mistakes that you done made, all of it, okay? So we're going to get back to this list because I got a couple things. All right, so first, having those boundaries within yourself. Second, communicating effectively. Having communication that explicitly tells people how to treat you, what your boundaries are, what you will accept, what you won't accept, all of the good stuff. Have effective communication. Third, when someone does not respect your boundaries, to do something about it. Because one thing that you can't do is renege on what you said, right? So if you said, listen, don't call me after midnight, and somebody calls you after midnight and it's not an emergency, and they continue to do that after you done told them, don't call me after midnight, you're going to get blocked. Or, something's going to happen to where you're going to know not to call me after midnight. I shouldn't have to tell you multiple times. We're all adults here, right? You just respect my wishes and I respect yours. right? Because you got to give respect to get it. But if you're not giving anything, what you think you're going to get? Okay. So just focus on how you can respond to people who disrespect those boundaries that you have. Because those boundaries are set up for your protection, for your health, for your sanity. And for those who disrupt that, they disrupting your melancholy. They're disrupting your vibe, your peace, your serenity. So you got to check that. And don't be afraid to check that. Like I said, I had to get over how other people felt about what I was going to say or what I wasn't going to say. You'll get over it, but the truth is the truth and you need to hear it. And if you don't fall in line with that, I don't know what you want me to tell you, but you either going to fall in line or you're going to fall out. But either way, my boundaries will be respected. All right. And you got to put your foot down. You can't let somebody slide and be like, oh, you know what? That's okay. Let me answer this real quick. It might be an emergency. You find out it's not. Oh, all right. Well, I'm getting off the phone. They call you again a couple days later after midnight. I already told you I don't take calls. So unless it's an emergency, I'm hanging up. If they call you again, don't even answer. Because they already know. Now it's different if the time zones is different. They 5 hours behind or ahead or whatever, and it's not midnight on their end. But if y'all in the same time zone and they still playing with you, no, we're not doing that. Okay, because now they're playing you as soft, and people will test you, right? That's something to remember. People will test you when you create certain boundaries because they'll test to see how far they can go. They'll see what their limits are. All right, don't let them do that to you. All right, so have those boundaries within yourself. Be verbal. Have effective communication. Take action when people don't respect those boundaries. And then the last thing I'll mention is surround yourself with people of the same mind, people who are like-minded, people who are on the similar path as you, because every other thing apart from the similar is a distraction and it's going to take you off your course. Having those committed people have a different mindset, especially when they know what they want. When you know what you want, nothing can stop you. There's things that might try. There's people that might try. But when you have a mind made up, there's nothing more powerful than that. All right. Make sure that you are surrounding yourself with good energy, good people, positive communication, clear standards, giving, I wouldn't say ultimatums, but letting people know that you don't play. Because if somebody can knock you off your game or make you compromise your boundaries, that foundation is not sturdy. Set up that good foundation for yourself, okay? Because we're not doing that over here. We're not going into 2024 doing the same stuff because nothing changes and nothing changes. And if you are not willing to change anything, and if you just want people to treat you any kind of way, if you don't care about those boundaries, and if you don't care about none of that, listen, people will run over you. All right, you have to take a stand. And some people might think you might be changing up, or you might be doing too much, or you come first. At the end of the day, you gotta love yourself first before you love someone else. You gotta treat yourself right before you treat someone else right. You come first. So those boundaries are crucial. That commitment is a two-way street. You have to tell people how to treat you. You have to teach them. Because if you don't, they're going to treat you however way they want to treat you. All right. So that's my little spiel for today. But yeah, I had to separate myself from a few people because they didn't respect my boundaries. They put me in a position where I didn't feel safe, or they was willing to do certain things that would have cost me my freedom and didn't care about it. But yet you say, oh, I love you and I care about you, but you're willing to put me in these compromising situations. No, you don't. Cut off. There ain't no explanation. Goodbye. Okay. The deuces. All right. So you just have to learn how to put yourself first And don't think so much about how other people gonna feel. And at the end of the day, that's not your problem. What your problem is making sure your boundaries are respected. And having those healthy boundaries is what is important. So having that two-way street of commitment, if you are truly committed to somebody and they're truly committed to you, y'all both will respect each other's boundaries. But if there's ever a time where someone is not respecting you or you're not respecting their boundaries, time to separate, time to reevaluate, communicate, and do something to change it. All right. So, you know what we do here? We got our mic drop. That's right. We drop some gems on you so that you can simmer on it and think about it for this coming week. All right, so the mic drop for today is to put yourself in a position to excel. Now, if that means cutting people off, cutting things off, doing things differently, however that looks, put yourself in a position to excel. Get rid of that extra weight, get rid of that extra baggage, because the only thing that is doing for you is holding you down. We don't want that. We don't need that. None of that, right? Don't hold yourself down. Don't hold yourself back. Stop self-sabotaging, because you know we all do it. When we get close to what we want, we self-sabotage because we don't think that we deserve it. Cut it out. You deserve everything that is beautiful and wonderful, and that's going to uplift you, that's going to excel to you, that's going to do so much to make sure that you have all that you need. You know, God has given all of us everything that we'll ever need, but it's up to us whether or not we accept it. I can offer you some gifts, I can offer you some water, I can offer you some things, but if you don't accept it, you're losing out on something that was given to you freely. And so put yourself in a position to where you're not self-sabotaging, you're not distracting yourself, you're not holding on to extra weight, and you're not putting people in a place where they don't belong, right? Prioritize your life, because you are the CEO of it. No one else has that position but you. So make sure that you do your job and do what you gotta do. All right? Listen, I love you all, and I thank you for continuing to rock out with me and all of my beauty, you know, my flaws and all. I appreciate y'all for coming back, because life do be lifing, and sometimes life will knock you out, but don't stay down. Get up and keep fighting, because you have something to fight for. You have someone to fight for. Yourself, your family, the people that you're meant to touch. So keep going. All right, create them healthy boundaries. I want to see you win all 2024, okay? And we're going to start now. Preparation starts ahead of time. And when you really want something, you prepare for it. All right, so listen, if you want to know anything about Intelexx, right? The business that I have, Intelexx Artrepreneur Agency, go to Intelexx.com, where you can find so many different opportunities to connect, to network. I'm here to build relationships, to have that healthy boundaries, those healthy standards, to build a network, a place where people can network and know their net worth and help each other together, because we're here to build each other up. All right, it's not a one-way street over here. Commitment is a two-way street over here, and we build authentic and genuine relationships. And I appreciate each and every single one of you all for all that you do to help us to be the best that we can be on this end at Intelexx. All right, and so Lifin is under the umbrella of Intelexx. So if you want to be a part of anything that we have going on, make sure to go to Intelexx.com. And don't forget, we got our own app too, the Artrepreneur Hub. Make sure to join that. All right, it's under the Mighty Networks app. Search for the Artrepreneurs Hub, and we are right there. And don't worry, you can go to Intelexx.com, click on that link that's attached to that, and we'll set you right up. But thank you so much. I appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in today. You all are amazing, and I can't wait to hear your stories And don't worry, we'll be having some guest speakers on here soon, so stay tuned for that. But I appreciate you all, and I hope that you got something from this. I hope that you remember, create those boundaries within yourself, have proper communication. If people don't respect your boundaries, do something about it, and surround yourself with like-minded people and things that's going to help you to level up, because we don't need anything holding us back in this next year. All right. Well, until next time, have an amazing day and an awesome rest of your week. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Okay, so keep it real. What did you think? And be honest, y'all, because I really want to know what y'all think. Honest feedback definitely matters, okay? Share your thoughts about it on the Q&A that's attached to the episode on Anchor or Spotify or Apple or all the amazing platforms. If you're on YouTube, make sure to drop a comment. If you want to share a little bit more, but you don't want to do it on those platforms, make sure to email us so that we can share your thoughts on the show. I want you to remember to love yourself.
I meditate all the time, learn my lesson, turn my blessings into one of a kind. I'm gonna stand up face to face, ain't anything in my way. Mama told me never let my feelings get in the way. I'm waking up like how the hell can I get better today? I gave myself that confirmation, boy, you already great.
Be true to yourself. And when life starts lifing, life back. But don't forget to life relax. Until next time.